Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're digging into something pretty big, a really stark warning, but also a pretty hopeful vision from Bill Gates' latest annual letter. We're talking about progress that's actually going backwards and what one person is planning to do about it. And it's a massive bet on the future. Okay, let's start with just one number. One number that really sets the stage for this whole thing: 4.8 million. That's the projected number of kids under 5 who died in 2025. And, well, that number tells a story that's pretty tough to hear. So why is this number so shocking? I mean, what does it really represent? Well, get this. For 25 years, a whole quarter of a century, we've seen incredible, consistent progress in saving kids' lives. That number was always going down. And then it went up. For the very first time this century, the world actually took a step backward, a huge step backward, on something so fundamental. Yeah, so this is way more than just a number on a chart. It's a massive reversal. And it makes you wonder, right? It forces us to ask the big question: how, after 25 years of moving forward, is the world suddenly going backwards? And this quote from Bill Gates himself, it just perfectly captures the whole problem, doesn't it? That's the optimist's dilemma right there. How do you keep believing in a better future when today looks, well, so grim? Okay, so let's get into the why. What's actually causing this major setback? Well, the analysis points to something really specific. And the source is really direct about this. The main reason for the rise in child mortality is that rich countries have been cutting back on foreign aid and support for poorer countries. This isn't, some new disease or a natural disaster. It's a direct result of decisions about money and policy. And the letter gets even more specific about where these cuts are coming from. It points the finger at things like slashed foreign aid contracts under the Trump administration, and also a big cost-cutting push from a new department, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, headed up by Elon Musk. These are the specific actions the source cites as the cause of this funding crisis. And here's the part that's just staggering. All this life-saving aid we're talking about, it made up less than 1% of GDP, even for the most generous countries out there. We're talking about a tiny, tiny fraction of their wealth, but it has this absolutely enormous impact on human lives. So what happens if this keeps up? The potential cost is just unbelievable. A predictive model in the Goalkeepers report shows that if development assistance gets cut by just 20%, well, that could mean an additional 12.5 million kids dying by 2045. I mean, just think about that number for a second. 12.5 million. All right, so faced with this really alarming future, this huge gap left by governments, Bill Gates announced something truly historic. A kind of philanthropic moonshot designed to step in and fill that void. We're talking about $200 billion. That's a B. He's combining pretty much all of his personal wealth with the assets of the Gates Foundation. This is by far the single largest philanthropic donation in modern history. And the whole point is to step in where governments have stepped out. And this isn't some forever fund. There's a really clear plan here. Step 1, donate basically all of his personal wealth to the foundation. And step 2, spend that entire $200 billion endowment down to zero within the next 20 years. This is all about a massive, urgent injection of cash for immediate impact, not some charity that lasts forever. This idea isn't totally new for him. It's really part of a bigger philosophy he's been pushing for years. It's like the ultimate expression of the giving pledge. That thing he started with Warren Buffett back in 2010, trying to get billionaires to promise to give away most of their money. And you have to understand the timing of this. His call to action is happening at this wild moment in economic history. I mean, just look at the numbers. The number of billionaires is just skyrocketing, and we're probably going to see our first trillionaires in the next 10 years. So what Gates is saying is, hey, in a world with this much mind-boggling wealth, the responsibility and the philanthropy, it has to get bigger too. It has to scale up. Okay, so even with this $200 billion answer, Gates's optimism isn't, a blank check. It comes with some really big warnings, some footnotes, you could say. So if things are so bad right now, where does he get all this optimism for the long run? The answer for him is one word: innovation. And more specifically, he's betting big on artificial intelligence. He truly believes AI is going to be the engine that drives us forward and helps us crack some of our biggest problems. He basically lays out two different futures for us, two timelines. The first one, the next 5 years. He says that's going to be tough. It's going to be a real fight just to get back to where we were.
But then there's the second timeline, the next decade. That, he says, is when we enter a whole new era, a time of absolutely unprecedented progress, all thanks to innovation.
And this last quote really ties it all together. He says, "As hard as last year was, I don't believe we will slide back into the dark ages." So even though he's sounding this massive alarm, his core belief in progress is still there. It's like he's telling us, look, there is a huge ditch in the road ahead, but I'm confident we can steer around it. And so, all of this leaves us with a really big question to think about. We've seen the problem, right? Governments are pulling back. And we've seen the proposed solution, this incredible, massive act of philanthropy. But is that really the answer? In a world with more wealth than ever before, is relying on a few ultra-rich individuals the best way forward? Or is it just a band-aid on a much deeper systemic problem? I'd love to know what you think.